Let's take a look at the plants that we should be pruning in the very merry month of
March.
My name is Marlene. Welcome to our home and garden channel. Now let's take a look at 9 perennials. So the first one is Crepe Myrtle, and this produces such beautiful flowers from mid-spring right through until late summer. We've had this one for about 18 years or so, and we want to have these prolific blooms every year. So we want to be going in and pruning them at the correct time. This is a beautiful white one right here. And this is what they look like right now. And it's a perfect time to prune them back in March or sometimes in February, depending on where you are. I'm in growing zone 8, but these can get pretty tall. So quite often you'll see where, some people go in and cut them pretty low to control the height. But at the same time, we don't want to have them be cut too low because sometimes that can cause structural damage. And if you take a look at this one right here, you can see like little knobby areas on there because they have cut it too low the first couple of times. So that's a bit excessive and it's not really good for the plant. So you'll want to bear that in mind when you are trimming them back. So over here, what my husband is doing is he's just going in and taking off the more wispy, limbs or branches that are on there, just cutting those clean through. And guys, just be careful, because these are pretty high up off the ground. Just be careful when you're doing this to make sure you don't, slip or anything like that, because we don't want to get hurt. We want to have safety in the garden. But he does go in there and take those off. And we did a previous video where we showed you step by step on how to go in and get this done, and I'll link it in the description box for you. It's maybe about 2 years old or so. It's still doing pretty good, so be sure to check it out when you get a chance, and I'll put it down there for you. Now guys, when you are actually pruning them, it's also a good time to check for pests and diseases. This has a black sooty fungus on there, which sometimes is triggered by aphids, infesting the plants. It's good to go in and treat them at that point. And these are some examples of what you can use here. I'll link at least 1 or 2 in the description box. You can check those out and be sure to wear protective clothing when you're treating your plants. The next type would be panicle hydrangeas. And these are some limelight hydrangeas. And I've noticed that they've gained a lot of popularity as the years, in recent years. And you can see why they're really, really gorgeous. And now is a perfect time to cut them back. Another type of panicle hydrangea would be this one over here. It's so beautiful. You have many different types like PG pinks and, so many other ones. And they're typically more conical shape as far as, the flower heads go. The main thing to bear in mind is that they bloom on new wood. So when you cut them back when they're dormant in the winter, you're not going to have, your blooms that you're expecting to get cut off on those dried branches. So that's why it's a perfect time now to go in and get those taken off. And there are different varieties like, other than that, like your smooth hydrangeas, like your Annabelle and so on, which also are pruned at this time of year. Typically what is recommended, and before we even get to that, just to show you what they look like at this time of the year, they're so beautiful in the garden. If you get snow on them, it's even prettier, but I just like them for structure and just for some interest because, not many things are happening in the winter garden. So this one, like these right here will certainly help to, give you some structure out there. Typically what is recommended is that you cut them back about 1/3 of the way down, sometimes even half, and they'll be perfectly fine. Now like this right here, this is actually a big leaf or mophead hydrangea, also called macrophylla hydrangea. These actually bloom on old wood, so you would not want to go in and prune them now. You want to make sure that, the wood is going to keep the blooms that you expect in the early summer. And this is oak leaf hydrangea. The same rule applies here as well. These also bloom on old wood, so you will want to make sure that you're not going to be pruning them until after they bloom. Number 3 would be ornamental grasses. And look at this, guys. Just look at the movement, texture, and the structure. This is another different type here as well. And I think they are just so gorgeous. This is some pampas grass right here also. Just to give you some examples, and this is a fountain grass right here, and they're so versatile. They can be used in container gardens, flower beds, you name it. they're good to go. You can see that they even change color sometimes before they bloom out, some of these ornamental grasses. But the rule of thumb is to cut them back maybe about, 6 to 12 inches. And if they, especially if they get, like large and overgrown, they're not shaped out so well anymore, it's a perfect time to go in and cut them back, when they're dormant. And that way, they'll be nice and lush. And you can also divide them at that point too. As long as the ground is workable, you can go in and, always divide them, and you can get more than one plant out of it. Moving on to number 4, and that would be climbing roses. And these are so gorgeous. These are some that my neighbor has, and how beautiful they are. And it's a perfect time to go in now when they're dormant, so they can look like that in the summer and spring. You can use pruners like these, and I'll link it in the description box if you wanted to get something like that. And so these are some my shrub roses right here. These are coming out already, when they're ready for the springtime. So try to get them a little bit before that point if you can. Just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to my channel. We do lots of gardening topics on here, my husband and I. Typically he's behind the camera, sometimes in front. And be sure to tap the notification bell twice. Over here now, the next one will be fruit trees. So now is a perfect time to plant them, like in the late winter, but it's also a great time to prune your trees. Just cut off like your cross branches, so they don't have a lot of pests and diseases, but they don't rub against each other, just different things like that that's going to affect your plant. So now is a perfect time to go in and get your apples and other fruit trees like that. Next one would be Rose of Sharon, and boy do I love it, because it reminds me of the tropics, like hibiscus, because they are in the same family, but this plant is cold hardy, so it comes back year after year. And aren't they gorgeous? Hummingbirds love them. As you can see, you'll see like little ants crawling on them sometimes. So lots of pollinators will go on there, and beautify our garden. You also see butterflies sometimes too. And look at this right here, bees. Very, very pretty. We had the purple one first. It got damaged by a really bad winter, and then this white one came and replaced it, and then we got purple coming back again. So we're quite happy about that. But they'll be at their best when you trim them back a little bit, just to control the height. Or if you want them to grow high, you can. But if you want to, then the good time to do it would be, when they're in a state of dormancy. That would be the perfect time to go in. So this is how they're looking right now in my garden. So this would be the time to go in and cut them back. And typically, again, just maybe take about a third of the plant off, or just cut out like your cross branches so you can have wonderful, beautiful blooms in the summertime when they come out. And I've only seen purple and pink in my area. If you have any purple and white, I should say, if you have any other combinations, let me know. Moving on to number 7, that would be butterfly bush, Budelia. And you have different varieties. Some of them are taller than others, but once they go dormant in the winter, it's a perfect time to cut them back so you can have nice, beautiful blooms like you're seeing right here. What you can do too is when it's like later in the season, like maybe in the summer or so, and you start to get like spent blooms on them, it's a good time to go in and just take the spent blooms off. And you can do this at any time actually, because that way you're going to get a lot more blooms coming out, and it's going to be pretty. Moving on to the next one, and that would be mid-sized blooming perennials, such as plants in your daisy family. These are some black-eyed Susans right here. And even though they are smaller, they do have a little bit of woody tissue in them. So when they are dormant, you'll want to go in and just cut them back. In some cases, some people say they leave them right up until early spring because they want it to be a home for pollinators like bees and so on over the winter, which is perfectly fine. These are some coneflowers right here. I've had them for so many years. Sometimes I'll cut mine back in the fall, and sometimes I'll cut them back, in March. And just to show you some I cut back here, this is what they're looking like right now. And I just left that amount on there. But you can see I have lots of, like leaves on there to help out with those hibernating insects. These are some Shasta daisies right here. Very, very gorgeous. These are some that my neighbor had. Same rule applies here as well. Moving on to the next ones, and that would be deciduous ferns. And that would be fern that, they dry down in the winter, and then they spring out again in the spring. And these are actually some lady ferns, and they are volunteer, guys. We never planted any of these. We saw one year, and then they just spread. And I think they look so gorgeous around there. We packed the river pebbles around them to give it that extra special look. But just to show you what it looks like right now. So we'll need to go in and trim these back, you know. So that's what I did here, to just go in with my pruners and just, you know, put some clean cuts when I cut it all the way down to the ground. So that way they'll spring back up and they'll look really, really nice. So before you go ahead and grab your pruners, guys, bear in mind that there are some plants that you will want to prune in March and February. And then there are others that you don't. So let's take a look at some of the ones that you will not want to be pruning right now. And the first one would be forsythia, because they bloom. They're usually late winter or sometimes even early winter bloomers. So you don't want to cut them off now because you don't want to miss out on your blooms. These are some azaleas right here. These bloom in the springtime, but they bloom on old wood, as do the loropetalums that you're seeing right here. So same rule again, you want to just leave those.
Beautiful ones, so you can do it any way you like.
Oak leaf hydrangea, they bloom on old wood. So we don't want to go in and cut those back until they've bloomed. Then we do that further in the spring or summer. We also have the mophead ones right here, which we spoke about before. Same rule again, we will not want to cut those back. So guys, I hope that this was helpful to you, and I did want to take a moment to say thank you so much to my channel members. For those of you who come back time and time again to check out our videos, we learn a lot from you, you know, by your questions and your comments as well too. We do look forward to them. And if you've never subscribed before, I hope you will, or at least come back to check out a few more of our videos and just journey along with us. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Happy gardening, and we do hope to see you in the next one. Take care.